All right, so as with any math test, y'all, the SAT, any of them, the hardest part of passing is knowing what kind of problem you're doing. And so the first thing we're going to focus on is ratios. And so to create a ratio, we're going to make two equal ratios. We're going to use x and y for our unknowns. We're going to cross multiply, and we're going to solve an equation. And so there's a couple things I want you to know. So first of all, anytime it says direct variation is the same thing as proportion. And so you want two proportions, and we're going to cross multiply. The other thing is, if it says per, we're going to make miles per hour, days per week, all right? Dollars per shoe, I don't know. Anything per, we're going to set up a proportion. So on the blueprint of a house, 25 millimeters represents 4 meters. The actual length of the living room is 5 meters. What is the length on the blueprint? So first of all, if you read that, how would you know it's a proportion? Right, because it's comparing two things and we're looking for a missing one. So I've got 25 millimeters, and this is what we're going to write. 25 millimeters, and it represents 4 meters. And the reason we're going to write that is because the part that you miss on the problems is not setting up the proportion. The part you miss is the next part. It says the actual length of the living room is 5 meters. So where does the meters go? Top or bottom? Where's the meters on this one? Bottom, so the 5 meters has to go on bottom. So the next thing that I'm just going to ask you, without even multiplying, so I'm looking for this. If I want to know how many is 5 meters, give me a guesstimate. What do you think the answer is? Is it 50? If this is 4 and this is 5, is it double? No. So if this is multiple choice, are you going to be able to look and say, oh, that's not right, right? Does it have to be bigger than 25? So if there were any less than 25, we can get rid of those also, right? And so the reason I'm telling you this is a test that doesn't always give you a calculator. So you don't want to spend all your time, if you don't have to, multiplying. We are going to multiply this one. I'm going to get 4x, 4 times x, and here 5 times 25 is going to give me 125. And then I'm going to divide by 4. And so I am going to divide because you may have to divide. So if I divide the 125 by 4, the 4 goes into 12 3 times. So I bring down the 5. And then you have to add a decimal, right? We're going to add decimals. So 4 goes into 5 1 time. That gives me 4. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 10 2 times. That gives me 8. So it gives me 31.25. And so my answer is 31.25, and it's close to 25, right? So if you did have 4 answers, you probably could eliminate and get close to the right answer. All right? All right, so look at the next one. And I swear to you, none of these are hard, but you are looking at that going, ooh, that's way too many words. That's what you're thinking to yourself. So I got a list of ingredients. The ingredients listed above make 40 peanut butter balls. A school party has 120 children, and each child will be given 4 peanut butter balls. How many cups of peanut butter must be used to make exactly enough peanut butter for the children at the party? So first of all, what do you know? What do we know? We know how many it takes to make 40. So how much does it take to make 40? So I'm going to put 1.5. Is that okay? It's 1.45 cups per 40. And so next, if there's 120 kids and they each get 4, how many total do I have to make? 480, right? 4 times 120 would give me 480. And so now I do want to show you without a calculator. If I cross multiply, I get 40x equals 1.5 times 480. And then I'm going to divide by 40. So what's 480 divided by 40? It is. Look, first of all, if I divide by 10, I can take off both of the zeros, correct? And so then 48 divided by 4 gives me 12. So my answer is north of 12. So is it going to be 10 or 12? No. And so then I have 24. Is it double 12? Because that means this would have to be what? 2, and it's not. So it's not this one. So without doing any math, I know the answer has to be 18. Does that make sense? Okay. And I want to do the next one, not because it's any more difficult. I'm going to come back to number 2. I'm doing 3. A pump removed water from a tank at a constant rate of 240 gallons per minute. Operating at this rate, how much water in gallons will the pump remove in 5 minutes? So first of all, what do I know? What am I given? 240 gallons per minute, correct? So I have 240 gallons, and then how much? 1 minute. And so I want to know how much water will be removed in what? 5 minutes. And so this is my X. And so if I cross multiply, I get X equals 240 times 5. What does the answer have to be, friends? It has to be D. It can't be any of the rest of these. No calculator needed. Just write it out and look at it. Okay. Then this is the one that it's also a proportion. It says varies directly, and that means set up a proportion as well. So the value of M varies directly with the value of T. That means it's M to T. If M equals 8 and T equals 28, so I have 8 over 28, what am I looking for? The value of, does that go on top or on bottom? It goes on bottom and the 20 goes on top. I'm going to go ahead and do my cross multiply. And then I'm going to divide by 8. And I still don't have a calculator. So when I look at the 8, y'all, 8 is 2 times 4, correct? So what's 20 divided by 2? 10. 28 divided by 4 is 7. 10 times 7 gives you 70. Any questions so far? Okay, so now the last one that I left for the last is number 2. It says an airplane is ascending. I'm going to read it, and I just want you to listen for what might be a problem here. An airplane is ascending at a rate of X kilometers per hour. How many kilometers would it ascend in 20 minutes? What's the problem? It doesn't tell us that, and what did you say? It has minutes and hours. You got to pick one, right? You can't have both. So it says the airplane is ascending at a rate of X kilometers per hour. How many minutes are in an hour? So I'm going to say X over 60. And it says how many kilometers would it ascend in 20 minutes? So I still don't know, so it's Y over 20. Because we don't know either one, do we? But then, what does the question ask you? How many kilometers would it ascend in 20 minutes? So am I looking for X or am I looking for Y? I want the Y. That's what you're looking for. So if I cross multiply, I get 20X equals 60Y. And we said, which one am I solving for? Y, so what do I have to divide by? Nope, we want the Y by itself. So we're going to divide by 60. And so I can cross out the zeros, because that's like dividing by 10. So I have 2 over 6. And what does that reduce to? 1/3, correct? 1/3. So that's like 1x over 3 equals y. And so the answer would be B. Okay, any questions? Okay, y'all, in Canvas, there's some practice problems just like this. I think there's only 6 of them. And when you're done, you can have fun with that.